and welcome to Campus to Community, the Columbia Basin College news magazine to keep you informed of what's happening at CBC and how we might better serve you. On today's show, we're going to hear about the Columbia Basin College Dental Hygiene Clinic, its low-cost services, and the Dental Hygiene Program with Director Lynn Stedman. And we'll also be visiting with one of this year's graduates, that being Beverly Lewis, a member of the 10th graduating class of the CBC Dental Hygiene Clinic. But first, we're going to hear about a new program at CBC for veterans called the VITAL program. Veterans integration to academic leadership at Columbia Basin College. And with us is the director of that program, Janice Kusch. Jan, welcome.
Thank you, Frank. It's a pleasure to be here and have a chance to talk about VITAL.
Well, tell us, what is VITAL and why did it come about?
Well, VITAL was actually developed by the Veterans Health Administration in order to respond to the growing number of active duty military returning from Afghanistan and Iraq. Many of those active duty military are enrolling in colleges and universities across the country, and VITAL is an opportunity for the VA to really be able to reach out and be proactive in providing them with support so they can be successful when they're using their GI Bill and completing a degreed program. In fact, the actual mission of the VITAL program is to provide a broad range of services to student veterans so that they can be successful in using their GI Bill, completing their degree, hopefully getting hired and living and thriving here in the beautiful Tri-Cities community.
So why was Columbia Basin College selected for this grant?
Well, the Jonathan M. Wainwright VA Medical Center selected both the Columbia Basin College and the Washington State University's Tri-Cities campus to partner with us in this project. Both colleges have an outstanding record for being very veteran-focused and supportive already. Specific to CBC, President Cummins has really partnered with the VITAL program and has working really closely with us so that we can work with administration and provide more education to both faculty and staff to make CBC an even more veteran-supportive campus.
What specific services does VITAL provide to student veterans?
Well, VITAL provides a really broad range of services to veteran students, and we're able to do that because the VA has actually hired a VA psychologist and has placed that psychologist right on the campuses themselves. It's a really neat program in that way, and it's unique. We realize at the VA that it's really hard for students to be able to come into the VA and receive services because they have busy schedules with classes, a lot of them work, and many of them have families too. So by having a psychologist right there on both the CBC and WSU Tri-Cities campuses, students can easily access that person for support. Dr. Malone is the actual psychologist who we've hired, and he's doing a wonderful job. He provides a broad range of service, anything from maybe like transition counseling to support with academics like test anxiety, developing an academic schedule, also getting students, veteran students resourced into other programs and supportive services that are on campus and also in the community and even nationally. And there's even behavioral health issues that he can help with, and for some veterans who are struggling with maybe like post-traumatic stress disorder or even depression and anxiety, he can also help with those things too.
Boy, that's fantastic. We had 400 veterans at CBC.
Sure
Jan,
do.
thank you for this program and thanks for joining us.
Great, thank you.
Coming up, we're going to hear about the low-cost services of the Dental Hygiene Clinic at Columbia Basin College with Director Lynn Stedman. Stay with us.
Looking for a career where you are needed, can travel, and earn an excellent wage? In the next 3 to 5 years, more than 40% of the nuclear energy workforce will be eligible to retire. Columbia Basin College Nuclear Technology Program provides training to become radiation protection technicians, non-licensed operators, and instrument and control technicians. Here's your chance to become part of the nuclear workforce. Train today to power up your career.
Welcome back. You know, there's low-cost dental hygiene services available right here in the Tri-Cities and right on the campus of Columbia Basin College at the CBC Dental Hygiene Clinic. And with us right now is the director of the clinic and the director of the CBC Dental Hygiene Program, Lynn Stedman. Thanks for being with us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about the dental hygiene program at CBC first, because it's not an old program.
No, it started 10 years ago, and we have a 12-chair clinic on our campus in order to train the students to be dental hygienists. So we are limited by the number of chairs that we have in the clinic as to the class size. So we can only take 18 students a year, and that's been cut back a little bit due to the budget cuts. So we're hoping at some point to go back up to 18. So it's a small program, but we're hoping that, well, we know that we're creating quality graduates from it.
So how does the dental hygiene program work in with the dental hygiene clinic and servicing the public?
Well, part of the program, of course, is learning how to actually clean teeth on patients, and so we train students to do that, and then we need a pool of patients to work with. So initially, the students had to do a lot of sourcing to get family and friends to come in and be their patients. But in the last 7 years, since I've been the program director, my goal was to create a bigger pool, and we have advertised and we've let people know that we are available on campus. The fees that we charge are probably about a third of what they would pay in a normal dental practice. If they have the time, which takes much more time because all the services are provided by the students. They're all checked by dental hygienists and dentists on our staff. So it takes a much longer period of time to have a routine cleaning done. But I think the cost offsets it.
So what are some of the specific services that you do offer? Initially,
we have people in for what we call a screening appointment, and at that time we take a look at their teeth, we find out a little bit about their health, how long it's been since they've had their teeth cleaned, and then we're able to assess how long it would take to clean their teeth, what type of cleaning they need. Do they need a simple cleaning or is it more complex? And then we can schedule that for them if they would like to become a patient of ours.
So who's eligible for these low-cost services?
Actually, anybody. The youngest students or youngest patients we take are about age 5, up to seniors. We have people in their 80s accessing our clinic for their cleanings.
And how can people access these services?
They just need to call the CBC Dental Hygiene Clinic and ask if they can be put on the schedule for a screening appointment. And at that time, we'll have them in for a screening, and then beyond that, we'll schedule them during the quarter as it works out for the students in terms of what types of patients that they need.
Fantastic. I'm sure you're going to have clients for years to come now.
Well, I hope so. It's been great to have that pool of patients and be able to serve our community in that way.
Great, thank you. And next we're going to hear from one of the students who's been through that program when we come back right after this. Welcome back to Campus to Community. Now, CBC is proud to have with us one of our graduating dental hygiene students for 2013, Beverly Lewis. And Beverly, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and why you decided to enter the CBC Dental Hygiene Program.
Well, I decided to go back to school. I'm 31 years old and I have 2 boys, and one of my boys needed some dental care. And so I went into the dental office and got to see a hygienist deliver anesthesia, do restorations, all kinds of things, and I just knew that was for me. So I started checking into programs, and CBC was the closest program to Walla Walla where I live, and it got really high reviews. People seem to love their job that come from there, so I decided on this program.
Fantastic. Tell us a little bit about your experience in the program.
Okay, so your first year in the program, you do a lot of book work and a lot of learning what you're going to be doing. And starting in summer through your second year, you do a lot of work on patients. We do things from sealants to just standard adult cleanings to quadrant scaling and root planing. So we get experiences across the board.
So what's that like, actually working on the patients after you've been through all the book training and working on, I don't know, mannequins or each other or whatever?
Yes. It's a little nervous at first. You're a little scared, but once you get going, it's fun. I enjoy it. The more calculus, the better. I love what I'm doing there. You learn a lot of things about what we're going to be doing out in the real world.
So what's been the most rewarding part of the program and maybe the most challenging part?
One of the most rewarding is that we actually get to help a lot of people who couldn't access this care otherwise. Our fees are a lot lower, and we have a lot of people coming in pain who need 4 different appointments to get their teeth cleaned, and they could never afford that at a regular dental office. One of the hardest things is we have a lot of people coming in who need dental care that we can't provide, such as crowns, root canals, extractions, and they really don't have anywhere to go. They don't have access to care anywhere else or the funds to get that care, and that's been a really hard thing to see.
I can understand that. So what are your plans after graduation? You're going to be a member of the 10th graduating class.
Yes, I'm so excited too. Well, I'm going to try to gain full employment at a private practice setting and get some time under my belt, and then hopefully be able to branch out into something to serve my community, whether that's in a hospital or school setting, anything I can do to really make a difference.
Beverly, thank you so much, and CBC's proud to have you as one of our graduates.
Thank you.
And that does it for this round of Campus to Community, and for this year, as a matter of fact, our last program for 2012 and 2013. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next year.